Okay, hello Mina. Hello everyone. So today we are going to make a Dollar Tree witch hat with legs. With the wreath attachment Dollar Tree ones. If you have not seen my former video that shows you how to stuff them and what else to do with them, please look up that first before you start this one. What I basically did is I took everything off. So I took this part up here because it wasn't shiny before, remember? I took this off, re-glued it with E6000. This is ribbon that I had on hand from the dollar store. I also cut it open about here. You can see because it kind of looks tacky from the E6000. You could have sewn it too, but I just used E6000 right here, and then I stuffed it. So that's that, and then we have our wires, one here, and then one here. For the legs, we took them off too, and then we put the ribbon around the top part to cover that seam, and then re-glued this back down with E6000. And then I just got some strips of cotton fabric and then just glued them onto the top of the legs. Okay? All right. The things that you're going to need for this is, of course, the wreath attachment. You're going to need a 12-inch form from Walmart. You can make this bigger or smaller. I think this one will work really well. So the way that I tell is you take your wreath attachment and see where it sits on your frame. I think that looks like really good proportions. If we use the 14-inch Dollar Tree one, I think it would just look too big compared to what is on there. That is my personal opinion. Okay. Then we're also going to be using, it's snagged. We're also going to be using this neon, or this, what do you call it, lime green fabric mesh. I used it from a different wreath. So I only probably can get like 3 or 4 out of this, but that's okay. And this is 10 inches. I got it from Craft Outlet. Along with this mesh, this is a black fabric mesh. Honestly, I will be using whatever I have on hand to do these Dollar Tree wreath attachments. This is going to be the bottom of the barrel kind of mesh that I have left. I so happen to have a full roll of this black, so I'm hoping to use some of it here and some of it in another one. So we have this black and the lime green. We're also going to be using, I actually got this for a different sign. But I forgot about it. Honestly, it fell behind the shelf. And then I found it, but this will be perfect. It's like a purple with the black stripes. It'll be perfect for this witch. I'm also using this lime green, and this is from Sam's Club. It is 1.5 inches. All 3 of these are. And they are all wired. And this is from the spring collection at Sam's Club. This one I got in bulk for the spooky season. It is a sheer with lime green, orange, and purple spots. So when you put this on your wreath, please make sure that you know that you will see through it. So I'm going to be putting the lime green underneath it. Okay? The tools that you're going to need is your mesh cutting scissors, your wire cutters, your ribbon cutting scissors, 22 gauge wire, possibly. You could also use the thinner wire, but I recommend the 22 for any kind of wreath attachments. Okay? We will probably be using a zip tie for a bow, the clips, and pipe cleaners. And that's about it. So let's get started. Hold on, John. All right, so we're gonna put these to the side for now. Put these to the side. Put these down here. All right. Now, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. So we are going to measure out 4 inches on our hand, and you can skip this step if you would like. I like to write it on my hand just because it helps me measure, but you do not have to. We are doing 4 inches. If you don't know why 4 inches, it's because you have a mesh that's 10 inches, half of the mesh is 5 inches, and then you want an inch overlay on each side. Okay? All right. You're going to take your pipe cleaners. These are from Amazon. I got them in a pack of like 1,000 or something. There's a lot of them in there. Okay. So I've already done this frame before many times. So we will end up with all the pipe cleaners right next to the bracket on the bottom rungs, and then there'll be a little bit difference on the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on here, and if you don't believe me, I'll measure 1 for you. So there's the pipe cleaner there. It'll always end up there. Here, here, all the way around. So you're going to be putting this pipe cleaner on rungs 3 and 4 with the knot that you twist on rung 3. Okay? Make sure you twist it tight. And you're going to do this on the same side of the brackets all the way around. All right, so now that those are done, let's go ahead and start like right here. And we're going to go around rungs 2 and 3. And you want your knot to be, so when you cross them, you want it to cross on rung 2. You need to pull tight, and your knot needs to be on rung 2. You only need to twist it twice. Now we actually have to measure. So you're going to take your measuring, whatever you're using, your ruler, your mat, whatever. Measure from this pipe cleaner to the next. This one's going to go here, if it wants to go up for me. There we go. Right there. And you're just going to make your X on rung 2, and then twist twice, and then you're done. Let's do it again. This one's going to go about here. There we go. And you're going to do this all the way around until you run out of space. All right, so this one is going to be too close together. So we're going to move this one over a little bit. Move this one over just a little bit so there's about the same amount of space in between. And then this one is going to go about here. And then this one's going to get moved over just a little bit so that there is more space in between. There we go. This one's a little loose, so I'm going to tighten it. Okay. You do want them to be tight. You can go around and check them. See if they move. See this one? This one's moving. Did you see that? It's moving. It should be tight like this. If you push it a little bit, it doesn't move. Okay, let's go ahead and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Did you know that one full roll of mesh usually equates to about 13 of the cruffles? Keep that in mind. So if you only want to use one color, this will be perfect for that. All right, so now that we are doing that, let's see how many of this lime green we can get out. And then that'll determine on how many blacks we have. So you're going to measure this at 28 inches. Try to go in between the lines. If you can't, that's okay. That's one. Let's see what else we can get out of this. My guess is 3, maybe 4. 2. 3. Oop, we got 4. If it's a little off, that's okay. Take our tape off. There we go. So sometimes the tape kind of ruins your mesh, and so I usually just cut off the end. But this one will be completely covered, so I think we'll be okay. So we have 4. There we go. All right, so now that that is done, let's put these down here for now. I have a little basket down here. So let's see. 10, 11, 12, 13. So 9. We need 9 more of these, okay? And don't worry, we're going to space out the green ones. I am running out of all my Halloween mesh. I'm at the bare minimum right now, and I don't want to order any more because it's almost done and we should be starting on Christmas pretty soon. So I don't want to order any more. All right, so you're going to cut these at 28 inches, and then we will be back. I am probably going to cruffle some of them so that it is less editing. Okay, so now that all of the mesh has been cut, I have cruffled some of them, but we're going to do some together, so don't worry. So you're going to take your mesh, and you're going to do curl side up, okay? So if you don't know what that means that if you let go of your mesh, it'll curl upwards towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Okay, that's what we're doing. Find the corner of the edge that you cut. Okay, you're going to take the corner over and fold it over into a triangle. You're going to do that with both sides. And then you're going to fold over the flap to about halfway down. And then fold it again, but you're going to go past the corners. What you should be left with is about 1 inch width from across this way. This is going to help you make your curl to be exactly the same size that you want it to be. Okay? So your curl will end up to be about 1 inch in diameter. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the end over here where my thumbs are, and you're going to pull it up and then curl it. You want it to go around at least once. Sorry, I had a little wire on there. You want it to go around at least once. Then you're going to get your clip. Clip the middle. Flip it around. There we go. This mesh wants to stick to itself. Okay. Get your corner, fold it over, fold this one over, fold over your flap. You don't have to worry about this mesh here because it's going to be covered, but if it bothers you, you could just cut it off. And then put your flap over again. And then you're going to roll it. All right. So you want your curl all the way around at least once. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to find the middle, and you're going to follow the lines that go up and down. Okay, you're going to pinch with your pointer finger and your thumb in the middle, and then you're going to take your fingers, put them all the way out, and bring them towards your curl. The pleat that you just made should be about the same height as your curl. And then you're going to take your clip and put it in. And that is your folded croffle. Okay, so now we're going to do the green one. You're going to take your something heavy just to keep it unrolling onto itself. Okay, take your corner, fold it over, take the other corner, fold it over, and then you're going to fold over your flap about halfway down, fold it over the corners. You're left with about 1 inch in width here, and then curl it. And then you're going to take a clip and clip it. Then you're going to do the same thing on this side. Fold over your corners, fold over your flap, fold your flap again, and then curl it. Then you're going to pinch the curl, bring your fingers out, and pull it up so that it makes a pleat. Until you get to the other end, bring up the other curl and put it in your clip. Okay? That easy. Alrighty. So now you need to get your frame. And let's map out where we're going to put these green ones. When we're doing ones that we have limited amount on, it's a little harder. So I like to do them first, even if it causes me problems later on. Okay, so we have 4. So let's do outer, inner, outer, inner. So the inner rungs and then the outer rungs. That way it's kind of even through the whole thing. Okay, So let's start here. Take off your clip. You're going to open up your pipe cleaner. Set it on your little knot. Bring up both pipe cleaners. Switch their places so that it makes an X. Okay? Then you're going to pull the pipe cleaners away from you. This one's away, this one's towards. And then you're going to push down. And then you're going to twist twice. And that is your pipe cleaner. Let's do this one. Open, put it on your knot. Pull and twist. This one. Switch their places, pull and twist. Go. Last green one, and then the rest of them are going to be wax. There we go. All right. So you're just going to grab a black one and start filling the areas. So here's one here. So you're going to push this mesh up and over just to get it away from this one until we're done. And then you could just pull them up like that. Okay. This next one goes here. And you're going to push this side up with this hand. And then you're going to push this side up with the other hand that you're holding the bunch with. And then you're going to put it into your pipe cleaner. There we go. And then this one will get pushed up against that one. There we go. All right, we have a pipe cleaner here. This one's going to go right here. Don't forget to pull really tight. There we go. And we're going to continue doing this until all of the pipe cleaners have a bunch of mesh in it. So now all of the mesh is in the wreath. So we're going to work on our ribbon. But first, let's see what it looks like. So we have our feet. They're going to come down to about like right here somewhere. And then we have our hat. Okay. And it's going to go about there. So what we're going to do, I'm actually going to put it into these two. So we're going to bend down these so we know where the hat is going to sit. Okay. And then the legs should be here. Around this area. Okay. Now that we have that set up, let's go ahead and start a ribbon. I'm going to put this down here for now. So I did cut some, but we're going to cut some together. So we have our green, purple ender shear. Okay, so we're going to be cutting 13 pieces of each one, but the purple is going to be at 12 inches, the one that's going to go on the lower bottom, and then the ones that are shorter, so this one and this one, is going to be at 10.5 inches. Okay, so you need 10.5 inches for the sheer and the color that's going underneath it. And you need 13 of them. I cut 10. And then these ones you're going to want at 12 inches. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut them. These ones are going to be at 12. 1, 2, 3. And then these ones are going to be at 10.5 inches. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then these ones, 10.5 as well. One, I'm hooked. 2, 3. All right. Then we're going to dovetail them. So you're going to fold them over, match the ends. You want the ends to match up to the lowest corner that you cut. Sometimes you don't cut completely straight, that's okay. We're matching up to the lowest corner. And then you're going to fold it over like a hot dog. And you're going to start from the middle and go up to the corner. Perfect every time. Let's do it again. Match up the lowest corner. Crease the bottom where the fold is. Fold over like a hot dog. Cut diagonally. I think I cut the purple ones a little crooked. We'll see. This one's a little crooked. Just a little bit. Same thing with the sheer. Don't forget to use your magnet. You're not going to want the little pieces of wire hanging around on your floor. There we go. Once we're done cutting all of our dovetails, we're going to cut our bow. Unfortunately, I do not have a sign for this one, so it will have to be a bow. I think. Yeah, I think it's this way. I'm trying to determine which is the prettier side, but this one is really hard. There we go. To the lowest corner. And then you cut to the lowest corner. All right. Now that that is done, let's gather up all of our ribbon here. Use our magnet. This is all the little pieces of wire that came up off of the ribbon for the last 2 or 3 projects. I need to empty it. All right, now that that is done, we're gonna need to make a bow. So let's make 3 of each color. And we're going to do loops. So we're going to do 30 inches for each color. And we'll do 3 of them. This is going to be an easy bow, guys. There's no bow maker required. There is no like making loops and twisting them. This is really, really easy. And this bow is perfect for every wreath that I have found. Most wreaths, this will be perfect for. It'll take less ribbon as well and less of your time. You know, I didn't even think about lighting this one up. I think I am going to light it up orange. But let's see. I have a ghost and a Frankenstein. I'll probably light up the Frankenstein purple. There we go. One more. Oh, we need that one. And then this one. Don't mind the beeping, that is just my washer. There we go, that's one. We may not even need it this long. This is just for precaution in case we do need it this long. One more. All right. Now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did with the other ribbon. Freak. Excuse me. All right. So line up your ends. And then you're going to want to crease the middle so you know where it starts. And you're going to do that with all the ribbon. This one is so hard to tell which side it goes on. I think it goes on that side. Line up your ends, fold the middle. And we're just gonna stack them so that so they're not close together. So I did the sheer and then the green and then the purple. And so the next one I'm gonna do is a sheer. And you want the middles to be on top of each other. That is the most important thing. There we go. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to get our zip tie. Go. Don't worry, we're going to make them line up more. It's okay. Okay. So next, you're going to make sure all of the middles are about lined up. There we go. That is the most important thing because that is what the height of your loops will be. So you want them to be about the same, okay? All right. This one needs to come up a little bit. Okay. Now that you have that done, go ahead and get your zip tie. And then you're going to measure 6 inches from the middle loop, so like where you creased it, to wherever the 6 inches is. Okay, and that happens to be right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the end on the side of the ribbon, and then you're going to push it. And so what you're doing is just creating like a crease in the middle for you to put your zip tie. Then you're going to get your zip tie and put it right on that 6-inch mark. And you're going to tighten it really, really tight. It's important that it's tight. Okay. This is what it should look like. Then you're going to cut off the end of the zip tie. Hold on a second. What is with me today? All right. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick the edge that you're going to start with. I'm going to pick this one. And all you're going to do is you're going to get the top loop, and then you're going to pull down. You're going to pull down, and then you're going to want to twist it away from the other ones. You're basically trying to get it so that you see this little cave here. You're going to want them to get away from each other. You want to get it not embedded into each other anymore, right there. It doesn't have to be in like any specific order. Just kind of move it away from each other. That's basically what we're doing here. Okay. So it should look something like this. It looks a little weird, right? Okay. So, show you what the bow will look like. You don't have to poof it up right now. So I'm just putting my fingers in the middle, and I'm just twisting and just making it go the direction that I would like it to go in. This one wants to be stubborn. And we're just going to poof that up a little bit, just so you could see what it looks like. Try to not put the same colors right next to each other. I'm going to put this one over here. Put this one in the middle. So that's basically what it's going to look like. And then we're going to have tails coming out. So, there we go. All right, so you're going to take your tail, your top tail. It should be the pretty side, okay? You're going to pull it up towards the loops and get it out of that little cave that we've created where we put the zip tie. And then you're just going to move it around. Now this one is pretty side down. So you need to bring it up and then flip it over so that it's the pretty side up. And that's all we're doing. Bring this one up. This should be the pretty side. This one should not be. So twist it. It should be every other. Up and move it. Pretty side needs to go up, turn it. And then you're going to repeat this process on both sides. Now we're going to do this side. Pretty side up. Flip this one. Pretty side up. Flip this one. Now the tails don't have to go exactly where you want them to right now. That's okay. Because they're not going to stay in that area anyways. We'll poof them here in a minute. All right. And that is basically what our bow is going to look like. It's just going to look more organized. What I should have had you do is put the wire on before we did that. I got a little ahead of myself, but that's okay. So you're going to find the middle between the tails and the loops, right above the zip tie. There's a zip tie. Put your wire around it, and you want to go above the zip tie towards the loops. Just right above it though. Match up your wires so they're about the same length. Okay. And then you're going to make a twist and then twist it. And you want to do that at least 3 or 4 times. Okay. And then you're going to bring it downwards because it's going to go into the wreath. All right. So we're going to put our bow to the side for now and put all of our ribbon on. So let's get our wreath back up here. So each bundle is going to need a purple, a sheer, and a green. So the sheer and the green will be going together. And they're going to go right on top of each other. Just match up the middles, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the middle of the ribbon and pinch the edge of the ribbon. You're going to push the middle into your pinch. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. And just kind of, there you go. Now you can see this little cave here. We want to pop that out. Pop them both out. Okay? Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your purple and you're going to do the same thing that you just did and then put it right next to each other. So they should not be overlapping by like more than like a couple millimeters. So the ones that we're going to be putting our hat on, they're going to go out this way instead of this way. So that is why we did that. So we're going to put it into our pipe cleaner like this. Let's actually flip it around. It's the wrong way. There we go. And then we're just going to twist it just like that. All right. Now that that is done, I'm going to bring my pipe cleaner and put it back through where it came through on the wreath frame. We're not putting it through the mesh, okay? I'm going to flip it over so you can see it. So I just bring the ends back through and we're going to go around rung 3 and we're just going to pull and then we're going to twist. This is going to secure your bundle and it's also going to make everything pop. There we go. We're going to do the same thing on this side. This one, and this one. There we go. Pinch, pinch, pop, pop. There we go. If it's too hard for you to do this with the ribbon in your hand already, then you could put like a little clamp and then do it. There we go. Then bring our pipe cleaners around. This time I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're doing it from the front, so that you could see why I do it. Okay, that's where we started. I'm going to pull. You see it moving? Then I'm going to twist it. Now, once we get this ribbon on there properly, you won't be able to see the pipe cleaner. Okay? All right. And you do not have to poof this ribbon until you are done. And so we're going to do this through the whole thing. These ones are actually going to be downwards. I'll show you what I mean. So these ones are where the hat is going to sit. So instead of going sideways like that, they're going to go downwards like this. So these ones are basically sitting on top of each other. And then you pull your pipe cleaner to the back and tie it. There we we go. And that is how we're going to do the rest of the wreath. Okay, so now that we have all of our ribbon on our wreath and all of the pipe cleaners tied around the back, I'll show you what that looks like. Let's see. This one got twisted. Okay. All right. That's what it looks like on the back. Eventually we will cut these when we're ready, and then we'll stick them back in so that it doesn't poke out. So next we're going to put on the hat and the feet. Let's see. This is where the hat goes, I believe. Let's get, there we go. All right, so let's put the hat on first. Just making sure I'm completely closed up here. Yeah, okay. All right, so you're gonna put the hat on first, and I'm going to put it about right here. Okay, so you're gonna wanna put the bottom wires on first, so the two ones down here, but be careful, this tool will get stuck on the mesh very easily, so try to keep it like up while you're putting it on. So you're going to take your wire, and these ones are actually in the middle of the bunch, so we're going to put these on around where our pipe cleaner is going down. And you're going to put it around rungs 2 and 3. And I'm going to put it on very loosely, and then I'll put the other ones on, and you can see what I'm doing once I flip it. Okay? So I'm going to put it on loosely so that we can make sure it goes on straight. And we are not going through the mesh. We are going around the mesh. If you poke through the mesh, it will cause it to fray. So please don't do that. Okay. And we're going around 2 and 3 on this side as well. This wire doesn't want to cooperate today. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're just going to make sure, yes, see, look, it gets cut real easy. I almost cut it off, honestly. Okay. And then this back wire here is going to go around one rung. It's going to go on rung 4 or rung 1. Okay. And you're going to put it, you don't want it super tight so that the hat is pulled to the back, but you also want it secured. Okay. This is where my wires are. Move these pipe cleaners out of the way. So I have one set here, and then one set here. Okay, so these ones we're going to pull a little bit, and we're going to tighten. And if you're not sure where you're placing it, try to keep it on rung 1 or 2 and 3. Okay, you don't want it down here, you want it up here. On top of that, make sure that these two bottom ones are really tight, because that is what's going to keep it held on. This one is just going to keep the placement on where it is. Okay, let's turn it over. I have some strings and stuff. You could always use a lint roller to come through and just kind of take all of this off. Little pieces of glue strings, that kind of stuff. All right. And then we're going to pull the tool up like that. And just kind of make sure that it's not going anywhere. We're good. So now here's the tricky part, okay? You're going to want to line up where the hat is and then have the feet go exactly where they need to go. My guess is that it's going to be here and here. That looks pretty good to me. I'm looking straight at it this way to make sure that it lines up with the hat. Okay, that is very important. So when you're doing the feet, make sure that you have the right feet going the right way. As you can see, the yellow is not on this side, and I didn't have any more yellow felt. If you do, you might want to put some more on this side. It'll look better. But that goes for both of them. So we're going to put those on the inside, okay? And we don't want them laying like this because that looks weird. And we don't want them laying like this because that looks weird. So we want them sitting up like this, but maybe slightly tilted in so that no one sees the inside. Okay, so now that we know where we're going to place it, you're going to take your cloth that we glued on there, and you're going to put it in and go around rung 4. I'm going to turn it over so you can see. So I put it around rung 4. And then we're going to tie it. You're going to pull tight, and you're just going to make a knot. And then we're going to make another knot just to make sure it's not going anywhere, and you're going to pull it tight. Okay, so that is what it should look like. It should kind of raise up off of your wreath a little bit. We're going to do this side too. Don't worry, it's where the seam is, where the legs are going in, it's going to be covered. So don't worry about that. The whole point of the bow is to cover where everything ends, and that is very important. It'll give the illusion on that there's actually a witch inside of this wreath, and that's what you basically want, is that the witch is stuck in the wreath. Go. Pull really tight. Okay. Now that that is done, this is our legs. Just kind of get all the little strings, and my cats, I have cats, so sometimes the hairs get on there. All right. So that's what that's going to look like. Now for the bow. The bow is going to go straight in here. Okay, so you have your wire at the bottom. All right. You're going to put the wire through the middle of the wreath. And I am going to flip this over so you guys can see it. Okay, so now you're going to be thinking, how am I going to do this? Now, pause, Josh. Oh, suck. Okay, Josh. So you have two options here. You can add another thing of wire onto the bow, and then you could just tie it around the one side of the rungs. and each pair will be on one side. Okay, that's option 1. Option 2, you can take the wire that we have put on, okay, separate them, and then go underneath and around rung 4 directly across from one another. And then you're going to bring it down, and then you're going to go around, but you need to go around really tight. And be careful not to poke through the mesh. You could also do a pipe cleaner and go across this way, and that will help keep the bow steady so it doesn't go through the wreath if you're having problems with that. There we go. Make sure it's tight. If it moves around a lot, you might want to consider putting some more wire on. And you could put it so that they come up this way instead. So yeah, now our bow is all smashed. That's okay. It's all right. All right, don't worry about the ribbons. We're going to get to it. We're going to have to cut them down to size. Okay. Alrighty. So first, let's do the loops, and we'll decide where to put the tails as well. You don't want anything the same next to each other unless you can help it. If you can't help it, then that's okay if it's like in one area, okay? But you could always move them around. There is 3 different colors, so that shouldn't be a problem, okay? All right, so for the loops, I'm gonna stand them up for now, just so that they're out of the way and I can see where we need more tails. All right, so we have a tail here. It's upside down. There we go. We have a tail here, purple sheer. So green, purple sheer, green, sorry, some of the ones underneath are kind of, okay. Let's grab one of these purples, and we're just going to move it over here. Green, purple, sheer. Okay. Green, purple. Why is this ribbon arguing with me? Okay. Green, purple, sheer. Green, purple, and we're going to put the sheer here because it is wanting to be here. Okay, we're going to take this one and move this one that way. Green, purple, sheer. I know you don't have to go in a pattern. It's just easier for me. Green, purple, green and purple, And then the shear goes over here. Okay. All right. Now that we have all of our tails in the right order, okay, make sure the spacing is good. Don't worry about it covering up anything for right now. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is first you need to make a couple of decisions. How long do I want these tails to go? How long do I want them off of the bow? Okay. That's question one. Question two, is it covering anything? If it covers something, it needs to be shorter or non-existent at all. Okay? Number three, does it look good here? Okay, you need to answer all three of these questions, and that is how you're going to get this done. I can't tell you where to cut because I don't know where your ribbons are. So those are the three questions you need to ask for each individual strand. Okay, so for these are in the way. They're in the way and they need to move, which means that they need to be cut. So these ones are going to go shorter. This one's going to go shorter. This one's going to go shorter. This one's going to be a little bit shorter than that one. Actually, probably shorter than that because of the hat. Yep, these ones are going to go way down because of the hat. But you're going to want them longer on the sides. At least that's probably what I'm going to do. Okay. Green, purple, sheer. Okay. And you don't want to just do like short and then long. Maybe do like a transition one where it's just a little bit longer. You see that? Okay. Go around. So green, purple. This one needs to stay where it said it needs to stay. Okay. So these ones are going to overlap on there. So I'm going to gradually make these shorter as well. So let's make this one a little shorter. And then this one a bit shorter than that. And then this one quite a bit shorter than that. Same thing with this one. Okay. Green, purple, sheer. So this green one needs to be a little bit shorter because I can't see this foot. I can't see the leg. Don't worry, it's going to look so much better than this once we poof it up, okay? So don't worry about it too much right now. We're just trimming right now. Okay. All right. This one, let's do a little bit shorter. It actually needs to flip around. It's on the wrong side. There we go. And then this one. So let's make this one a little shorter. So it's like a transitioning one. Okay. Now we have them about the same length that you would want them to be at. All right. So now that you do, I want you to go around and put dovetails on all the tails. Okay? So you're just going to do your hot dog and then cut up to the lowest corner. Just be patient with it. This is going to take a little bit of time. And we're just going to go around and get them all. Okay. We can always fix the spacing later. Right now we need to do all the dovetails since we already have them all cut. So these little ones, I don't even know if we'll be able to see them, but I'm going to do them anyways, just in case. Okay. All right, we're getting there. This is probably the time to talk about what we're watching. I am currently watching Psychic Princess, Zom 100, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Lobrookie. My husband and I also watch Only Murders in the Building. I don't remember if we're done with that one or not. Why don't you guys comment below on what you are currently watching, whether it is anime or not. Probably won't be able to see these little ones, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, almost done. 2 more. And it looks like we're going to be lighting this one up orange. Okay, now that that is done, first what I want you to do is I want you to go around and fix all of the ribbon on the sides. Not the bow, just the ribbon on the sides. And then we're going to fix the loops and then the tails. Okay? All right. So I want you to make sure that it's in the same bunch, that they're not escaping and kind of moving with the other ribbon. Kind of make sure they're with their own bunch. Okay? Make sure that they're pointed in the right way. I would rather have them pointed down than up. See how this one is pointed up? I'd rather have it pointed down than up. You could also put your hand underneath the ribbon and just kind of curl it a little bit with your fingers. So you just take it, put your finger behind, and then just pull it a little bit and tighten, and it's going to curl it down a little bit. just like that. And you should have two sets, the ones on the top and the ones on the bottom. So the middle and then the bottom. If you can't find them, you can either make the executive choice of just leaving them where they are, or you can find them. There we go. There we go. Oh, this tool is already bothering me. Okay. Don't worry about my son upstairs. You can hear him moving around, even though I told him that he needs to sit. Why is it that they sit so nicely when you're not doing something that they need to be quiet for? But then the moment that you're doing something they need to be quiet, they have to get up. It just baffles me. Okay, there's one half of the bunch. There's the other. Oh, looks like our mesh is attached to the tool. Hold on. Oh, I might just cut off this tool. Like, put you this way. Maybe that'll help it not get attached to the tool. Okay, this one. There's one. There's the other. This one was all the way underneath the mesh. That's not what we want. We are almost done poofing all of this ribbon. And I know I usually am very ribbon heavy. It's just as cheaper than adding a whole bunch of add-ins. And it looks plain if you don't add. So this is usually how it goes. This way. I might even put like a wire right here underneath the leg so that it stays, but it's still kind of elevated. I'm probably going to do that because I don't want to stay the way I want them to stay. Okay, so it looks like we've gone all the way around. And while we have that in our head, I think I'm going to put some wire on it. You could choose to skip this step if you want. And you really don't need that much. No more than 10 inches. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to put it underneath, like about here. And I'm just going to pinch and then push it through. And then we're going to attach it to the wreath base. There we go. So just poke it so that it goes around and through the other side. You might have to finagle it a little bit. Usually I don't have this much problem. Oh, my son is really moving around up there. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to put it around the mesh and then put it around rung 4, or rung 1, I mean. My goodness. Just so that the legs don't go too far up and it stays where I would like it to stay. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing on this one. I would say probably where the knee is. That's probably where I'm putting it, but on the back. There we go. All right, and this one's going to go around row 1 as well. I'm just going to slip it around it and then kind of tighten it. There we go. This pipe cleaner keeps getting in my way. It's like, tie me too. Okay. There we go. She's definitely in there now. All right, so now that that is done, let's go ahead and do the tails and the loops. So I'm gonna put the loops and just kind of make sure that they're not in the same spot, like right next to each other. Just pull and then just kind of make them poofy. Shear. There we go. Oh, we have 2 greens next to each other. Let's put a green over here. Yeah, this looks better. A shear. Here's the green one. Here's this one. And then I'm just going to turn this so it's like that, but you can do it however you would like to. And our wreath is starting to turn out pretty good. Just make sure that the tails are where you want them to be. There we go. Turn your wreath, but don't grab the top of your ribbon or else you're going to have to fix it again. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Sorry guys, I need to look. Okay. I'm going to put a tail down that way. I don't like that. I think I'm going to have to cut one of the tails shorter. 2 of the tails shorter. And I think I might have to put another wire because it keeps coming down this way and it's leaving a hole right here. Okay. You kind of just have to be adaptable sometimes. Sometimes it'll work out the way you want it to and sometimes it won't. So you're just going to slide your wire around the bow and put another wire on there. And it's going to go up towards the hat this time. And then make sure you twist it. And then once you're done with that, bring it down through the ribbon tails. And you're going to wrap it around rung 4, but right underneath where the hat is. Just make sure you pull a little bit so that it covers the hole in the middle. So I'm going to pull mine. There we go. Okay, so now that our bow is on there, and our tails are good. I'm actually going to move my tails just a little bit. There we go. There. Okay. So now that this is done, we're actually going to flip it over and put the lights in. We're going to trim everything. So when you do this, just go ahead and just push the ribbons down, because it's going to be pushed down anyways, but then now they're going to stay in the spot that you want them to be. And then you're going to flip it over. This is the bottom. All right. So you're going to take your wire cutters and you're going to cut the excess wire. Remember to put it directly into the trash. The ribbon you're going to have to cut, or the cloth, you're going to have to cut with not your ribbon scissors, different scissors. It'll dull your ribbon scissors. This one is an old pair of mine before I got these ones. So I use them now for like everyday use, like paper, cloth, that kind of thing. That's what I use these scissors for. So I actually have 3 sets of scissors. And my children are not allowed to use any of them. All right, so make sure that the pipe cleaners are about 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then you're going to push them back into the frame. There we go. And you're going to do that all the way around. Make sure you get your wires and you're going to push them back in just like we do with the pipe cleaners. Make sure that your wires go directly in the trash, because let me tell you, having them in your feet really hurt. And you're going to lift your wreath and then turn it. It will reduce the amount that you have to re-poof. There we go. Lift and turn. Okay. This one's a little loose, so I'm just going to tighten it just a little bit. And then I'm going to wrap it around this rung. There we go. All right. Try not to lean on the frame. That will also make you do more work. There we go. Almost done. If you have any pieces of long pipe cleaners, go ahead and save them. You're going to use them for the lights. All right. Now that that is done, find the bottom of your wreath. We're going to need our screwdriver set, some pipe cleaners. All right. So these are Dollar Tree Halloween lights. They had them in stores. You can also order the pack of them online. These are a set of 10. You can actually put a set of 10 in this frame, but it doesn't get very bright. So it is up to you whether you want it to be bright or if you just want it kind of, you know. Let's put them in and see what they look like. Make sure that we cover everything, and then if we need to, we can do the second pack. So you're going to need a screwdriver, a Phillips head. Then you're going to unscrew the screw up here. See the screw? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I need a bigger screwdriver. Hold on. Normally I don't have to use my big one on these. There we go. Sometimes you have to push hard and turn it in order for it to come out, because they don't actually like drill a hole for it. They just kind of drill the screw in, and it really screws up the plastic. Whew. Okay, don't lose that little screw. And then we're going to pop our batteries in. Make sure you put the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. And you're going to slide the case back in this way. There we go. And then we're going to screw this back in. And this time we're going to screw right. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Something my father taught me a long time ago, and it's always stuck with me, and it's useful for everything. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure these lights work. There we go. So let's go ahead and make sure that they'll go through the entirety of this wreath. And we're just going to map it out. Where's the end? There it is. Just make sure that you're going one up and one down. So I'm putting one in between rung 1 and 2. And then the next one will go in between rungs 2 and 3. And that's what I do. It helps separate them. I do try to put them like right here, where this bunch is right here. But these ones are not going to cooperate. So that's okay. See, on this side, up, down, up, down, then there's one right here. It's not very bright. I think we're gonna have to do 2 sets of lights. Mostly because of the wreath attachment and the ribbon. So we're gonna take these out. And we're gonna move this one down here. Put this excess wire down here as well. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to put it around rung 2 and 3. Try not to go through the mesh. There we go. Then you're going to wrap your pipe cleaners. You need to go really, really tight. So match up the ends and then twist really tight. And then you're going to do the same thing right here. Match them up, then twist really tight. Okay, so you're going to cut about 1 inch from the bottom. And then you're going to push these over the side. We're going to need 2 more. And these ones are going to go on this side of the bracket. There's the bracket here. And we're just going to, there we go. Turn this off for a minute. While we do the other lights. And then the batteries. My batteries I get off of Amazon. It's cheaper for me to buy them in bulk because I use the lights and the batteries so much. The lights I usually get on sale during Christmas time. I misjudged on how many I need for the year, and so I actually ran out. So I had to buy some off of Amazon. It was really hard trying to find them. I wouldn't go more than a 20 count just because it's too hard to wrap them around the wreath unless you're doing like a really big wreath. I wouldn't do more than 20 count bulbs on one LED battery pack. 10, you would need 2 of them, so keep that in mind. The 30 and the 40 are really excessive. And so unless you want it to be very bright, very, you know, in your face, I suggest not going up that high. There is a couple of wreaths that I would do that for. I did it for Are You Serious, Clark last year. That one really needed a lot of lights. If you've never seen it, it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And it goes very excessive with the lights. I did 2 of those They were different, but the same sign, just different. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. So next, we're going to put these lights in the middle, just so that they're out of our way. So you want to make sure that the very first light that you put in is over by the battery pack. That is very important, because sometimes we will forget to put one there and then you'll have a dark spot. You will still have to map them out. So I already have a light over there. So let's put this one right here. Okay. All right. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to want to do these. Do we have a dead spot? No, we're okay. And we're going to put these all over the place. Just kind of spread them out. Make sure you're going in the middle and then at the top. That's the most important thing, so that they're not all in like one straight line. Let's see, these ones stop here. So let's do this one here. This one up there. Looks like we're all mapped out. Okay. So now you're going to go back to the bottom. Get yourself a little pipe cleaner. Okay. Find where the first piece, the first bulb is. And then you're going to want to tie the wire around the rung with the pipe cleaner. You only need to twist once, and then just push the pointy ends of the pipe cleaner back into the wreath. And you're going to want to go on the same side throughout the whole thing. So if you're going to do the right side, then do the right side through the whole thing. And when I say the right side, there's a wire coming in through the left and then coming out through the right. So if you're going to put your pipe cleaner on the right, stay on the right. If you're going to put it on the left, then stay on the left. This will help reduce this lagging loops like this. And you could also, like, if you have some longer ones, you can go ahead and put it around both sides and around the rung. That'll also help reduce that. But keep in mind on how deep your wreath is, because you don't want the light to come out on the other side. At least not with these ones. And you're going to want to do this at every bulb. If you run out of the little ones, then go ahead and use a big one and then just cut it each time. Alrighty. So we're going to do this all the way around. Just kind of make sure you're getting these loops to go down a little bit. Pick up and turn your wreath. this one goes up here. Maybe. That one's down, so this one's up. This one I'm going to wrap around both because there's a lot of excess. And then I'm going to tuck it into the mesh. You just don't want to see a whole bunch of free bulbs laying around. You want it tucked into the mesh. Okay. Let's see. There's a bulb there. Get this long one. And this is the end of our first strand. This one doesn't want to seem to stay where I want it to, so I'm going to put it around this wire here. Just kind of, there we go. The next bulb is right here. Make sure you're not going through the mesh with your pipe cleaner. Okay. This one I'm going to tie the whole thing. And then I'm going to put it into the mesh. Let's see. There we go. I am using my finger to guide the pipe cleaner, because sometimes it's a little hard to get it around the rung and then back up. Be very careful when you're using your wire cutters. They will cut this wire for your lights. And then you'll have to redo all of your lights. Unless you're an electrician and you know how to rewire it. Which I am not. Okay. There we go. We are almost done. This one, I'm going to go around both. Don't forget to tuck in those lights. I only have a few more. So I have this one here. There we go. And this one here. And this one has a whole bunch of like extra wire from the battery pack. And so I'm going to put those in here as well. Just so that they don't get hooked on something. Okay. Oh, look, we have one more right here. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Now, let's turn off these lights. Well, I'll show you what it looks like. You can really see the orange now. Okay. Let's turn off the lights for now. We need to put our hanger, and we'll put it right here at the top. We should be pretty evened out down there, but maybe we should check it. No. Over a bit. There. We want it to be about there. So what I'm doing is I'm balancing it on my finger and then adjusting it so it's in the middle. That way I can tell where the hook should go. I didn't even explain what I'm doing. I'm doing this so much that, okay. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to go around rung 1 and 2. Put it underneath and then put it around rung 2 and bring it back up. And then you're going to wrap it around the larger part, and that is going to make your hook. You're going to do that twice. One on this side, one on this side, and that is your hook. Okay? All right. There we go. Now that that is finished, we're going to just kind of tidy up our bow a little bit. This shouldn't take too long, considering we flattened these before. And just gotta bring them up. Just like that. And there we go. And I still have string. That's the problem with the black color. You can see everything. Okay. All right. Now let's turn on the lights so you can see everything done. There we go. What do you guys think? I can actually see the bottom part here. There we go. All right. What do you guys think? I think this bow is pretty easy. And this is how I use the Dollar Tree witch with the hat and the legs. And yes, it's a long process with taking everything off, putting things back on with E6000, switching out this part for the ribbon, putting the wires on, putting the stuffing in. Honestly, I would rather just buy some from Craft Outlet, then I won't have to worry about the stuffing. And the wires will be already in there. You might have to add 1 or 2 wires. The legs will be longer, of course, and the hat will be bigger. The fabric would be better quality. But for $1.25, I think it turned out pretty good. Let's go ahead and price it before we go. So the hat with the legs is $1.25. The ribbon, we have, this one came in a bulk, so I charged $3 for that, because I didn't use the whole roll and I used several of different wreaths with it. So this one is $3. This one came from Sam's, and so this one's also $3 because I don't use the whole roll. So we have 3, 6, then 7.5. And then this one I charged $5 for. Most of them, I don't remember all of like what the prices are for the ribbon that come from Craft Outlet. Some of them are actually more expensive, and if I know that it is, then I'll charge it that way. Some of them are less. So we have 7.5, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12.5. And then the wreath frame was $3 from Walmart. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15.5. And then we had the mesh. We had a whole roll of the black. So that would probably be around $8 or $9. And then about a half of a roll of, maybe less, of the green. And I usually don't charge for this because this is leftover mesh. So we're up to about 25, 26, something like that. Then you have the lights. Okay, the lights are $1.25 each. We use 2 of them. So we are up to $28.50. And then the battery charge and the pipe cleaners charge. So about 32. So I'm probably going to sell this for about 65. I am also going to spray this with Rust-Oleum so that it helps repel the water, especially with this fabric. I'm going to spray it really good with that. And honestly, I probably should have sprayed it before I put it on. So that is always an option. It just makes it harder to put the wire in it. Sorry, I was yawning. So I usually double my prices. People say that I should do triple, but I don't know if they're going to sell for that. But the way that I make up for it is if I have black mesh and I use the majority of the roll, but there's still some on there, I charge for the whole roll. The ribbon, this purple ribbon, I charged for the whole roll. Okay? The green only cost me $7. I have used this green in at least 4 other wreaths. And I charge $3 for each time that I use it. Okay? That is how I make up my difference. So it doesn't cost me as much as I say it does, but it evens out. Do you get what I'm saying? All right. If you did not see the video on how you fix the Dollar Tree attachments, please go ahead and check that out. That's very important before you do this. And as always, look through the other videos. See if there's anything else you want to find and try out. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Sayonara. Have a good night.